In any interaction that you're in, before you even open your mouth, the unconscious part of your mind is scanning every single detail about that human being in front of you. But what if we could teach that part of your mind exactly what to look for? When you walk into a new interaction, you may only have 30 seconds and sometimes a lot less to figure out exactly what is happening before you start your interaction. Wouldn't it be helpful to know if you're walking into a situation where there's trust or where there's maybe some concealed tension happening behind the scenes? Or what if there's a power struggle between multiple decision makers that you're able to observe before anyone even opens their mouth? These are the type of skills that differentiate the fakers and the kind of amateurs from the real professionals and the real operators that understand behavior profiling in a deep way. Now, NCI doesn't just give you these skills, it allows you to install these things into your mind to become part of who you are. So they become a reflex and they become integrated into your personality and the way that you see the world. It's not something you even need to consciously think about or turn on or try to do. It's something that you become. What I want to do is go through some of the things that are going to be really interesting that you'll be able to start to see as soon as you gain these real professional skills. You'll be able to see the emotional atmosphere. You'll be able to see who has gravity, who's faking it. And most importantly, you're going to be able to find where is the opening, where is the opportunity for me to insert my behavior to leverage the outcomes of making the entire situation better, whether it might be creating a specific outcome in a sales scenario or just helping someone to feel better leaving the situation. Now, I think a lot of people think that they're good at this. I'm sure you've heard plenty of people, and you might have even thought about it yourself as I went through those points, thinking that that's something that you already do all of the time. I think one of the big mistakes a lot of people make is they look for comfort or approval. Operators are looking for structure. We're looking for all of the micro details that most human beings have no idea even exist. We're noticing the concealed struggle, the concealed emotions, the concealed opinions, and what's happening behind people's social masks, not just what they're presenting to the room. So some of the wrong questions that people might ask are things like, who do I know? Or how do I blend in? What we want to be thinking about are, where is the pattern of behavior? Or where's the leverage? Where is the opening for me to be able to insert myself based off of the data and based off of all the intricate things that are playing out in front of me? So this is a function of the behavior compass in NCI tracking. This is going to allow you to fully understand someone's emotional energy, the degree of social syncing that's happening in front of you, all of the openings that you can leverage to move into. And this is just the beginning. Imagine being able to understand the deep psychological structures that make up what somebody is most afraid of, how they want to be seen, how they make decisions most of the time in their life, and what is the outcome that they're trying to achieve with every decision and everything that they're doing in their life. If you can understand those things, in addition to body language and in addition to all the specific things happening within this context, you now don't just understand a few key variables, you now understand a deep tapestry and a complex story of everything that's happening behind the scenes in real time. So let me give you an example of what this can look like in a real world scenario. So we were in a negotiation not too long ago, and it was kind of like a high dollar boardroom pitch type of deal. Now, as I entered the room, there was a loud exec that was leading, and he was kind of barking and trying to be very loud and show off how important he was. And trying to demonstrate that he was the primary decision maker. But by reading his behavior, my mind could instantly tell that something felt fake. There was a falsity to it. It had no real social gravity. And this was exemplified through his authority and confidence and lack of authority and confidence and all of his body language gestures, but not just that, but the body language gestures of all the other people in the room. So there's one quiet woman, and she was about 3 seats away. And by paying attention to all of the micro gestures that were happening and understanding the underlying psychological elements that were at play, it became very clear that this woman was the real decision maker. And all that needed to happen in order to create the outcome was to sync with her. This guy who was being really loud and making all the noise and trying to get you to prove yourself to him didn't actually matter at all. And by connecting with her and looking at her body language and understanding her psychology and decision patterns, all it took was one quick, calm nod from that woman, and everything went through perfectly fine. It turned out the big, loud guy's opinion didn't actually matter at all. So this is what I want you to understand, is that influence doesn't come from dominance. It came from reading the real underlying structure of what was happening right in front of your eyes. So I want you to think about this the next time that you're in a situation, next time that you're talking to anybody. Don't just speak right away. Actually scan and look to deeply understand the situation before you open your mouth and before you start making a play. Look for the emotional temperature. Look for who's getting the real attention and who's kind of just performing or faking it or pretending to be the real big player. Also think about what space is being ignored, what's not being said. A big part of behavior profiling is not just looking for what is, but looking for what is not. Seeing what is missing can sometimes tell us just as much as the things that are right in front of us. Then I want you to pause for a few seconds and actually anchor your breath, compose your thoughts, and really consider the variables before you speak. Remember, you control your behaviors. Don't let the outcome or the scenario define you. Allow yourself to be the definitive factor of every scenario that you interact with. And you can do that in as simple of a way as just taking a moment to compose your thoughts and acting in whatever way you think is best without ever feeling rushed by another person. And going back to the authority and confidence stuff, which I'm sure you've heard us talk about, this is a key understanding of that authority and confidence, is our ability to be fully present and to stay composed in ourselves. And that's something I want you to bring into every interaction you do as a way to also understand and take the time to read the room before you speak. So with NCI, reading the room isn't some kind of special talent. Although it might be a superpower, it's not something that you're born with. It's an instinct that we all have pre-programmed into our mind that we are able to train to professional levels, and anybody can do it in order to be able to understand the world in ways that most people never even thought were possible. So what the NCI behavior profiling training really does is it installs that scan into your nervous system. It becomes a part of you. So when you look out into the world, you just see a different reality. You're not consciously processing hundreds of little variables and body language gestures. You simply perceive reality differently. And once you have that ability to scan in this deep level, you don't just adjust to the room actually begins to adjust to you. So I want you to think about that as you go into your interactions for the next week. Let that sit. And if it's something that's interesting to you and you want to take that next step into becoming a real behavior profiler, into gaining these professional skills to separate yourself from all the other people who just pretend, go check it out. We've got lots of incredible training into behavior profiling. I'd love to see you on one of those trainings. We got live events that we do, as well as some incredible world-leading online courses. I hope to see you on the inside. Until next time, I'll see you around.